previously on simplifying Power Apps dates in debugging.
So let's do text label.
He chose poorly.
Feature me here. This is Dave once again, and we're going to go over the different changes that needed to be made so it's nice and clear, because I was all over the place during this part of the video because I was actively debugging and kind of left my talking brains off. What can I tell you? So if you're keeping track, there were 5 different arrows that were pointing to different errors in the patch update that I was building for the submit by patch button. The one we're going to currently do in this particular situation is we're going to fix the third arrow, the third one of the 5. Some crankiness still happening. In this case, it's equals, and you're like, well, selected text is there. There shouldn't be any issue. No, there is an issue, because the selected text doesn't mean much, because you need to actually have a value. So dot value, as you can see, that was the only thing I could add, and so there's the dot value. So now all of a sudden it's like, oh, I know what that is. And so that's also the reason why this one over here, see, invalid argument, it's looking for something. Well, yeah, there is indeed a reason for it, so we need a dot value here as well. Hope you were paying attention. We just solved the 4th arrow as well. Did you see that? One of the great things about Power Apps, it's going to at least try to point you in the right direction, and when those red squiggly lines appear, it's going to be either cranky or it's going to be good. In this clear case, here, let me undo the dot value for a second really quick. So as you can see, it's got the squiggly line over here. I know it's like really small, you can actually see a red mark. It's actually showing you which line the error is on. So now let me go ahead and put value back in. And as you can see, the red line marking the actual row where the error was is no longer there. In fact, there's no red lines anywhere. So it's like, okay, we're good. So we're in a good place now. All we have left to do is try it, and let's see if it actually pushes through. Past me was so naive. Sure, we fixed arrow number 1, arrow number 3, 4, and 5, except there was a hidden problem at the same location in arrow 3. And oh, by the way, don't forget arrow 2. Shall we? So let's go ahead and hit that. So for text, well, that's lovely, but I forgot to do something. Let's go back here. Let's go ahead and in the realization that I have stumbled over arrow 2 comes to a reality. Do this. Did I use a text box or a label? That is definitely a label. That is not a text box. You all probably saw that and you're probably laughing right now. Again, sometimes I may or may not actually do this on purpose. So let's go back. Let's go to a text input, which is actually correct. There we go. And then the text input is txt correctly this time versus a label. And let's see here, text input, so this will be a text title. And yes, because I deleted the other one, this will take. And beautiful. That's nice. But as you can kind of imagine, this may or may not be broken. And I will always check to make sure that's the case. It's saying it's good. And sure enough, it looks good. In fact, you can see down in the bottom left hand, if I move the thing, it won't. So if you look at the bottom of this flyout box at the bottom, you can see format text, remove formatting, find and replace. The line below that, it says a txt title.txt equals text input. And what is that? You can see the text input is right here. Oh, okay, it didn't go away. That's good. As you can see, that is right there. And so it's actually telling me what that value is. That's one of the really neat things about this. Let me go ahead and run a test. Then I'm going to come back in here and show you why that's so valuable. It will show you when you're trying to debug things. It's like, okay, what does this, I thought this was going to work. Why is it not working? If you hover over it, it'll give you additional information to allow you to say, oh, that's why, and you'll be able to make the changes you need to so that's working properly. All right, so let's go ahead and rerun this. Okay, so here's our text input. Let's, instead of title of doom, let's see here, text input's boring. We use Star Wars. Let's go with The Princess Bride, because why not? There we go, and then we're going to throw another date in there. Let's do tomorrow. I love ya, tomorrow. All right, let's see here. We're going to do it at, let's do it a brunch, so 11:30 in the morning. That's good. And we're going to go ahead and hit the submit by patch. We'll come back to our list. Let's do the old refresh with, was it F5? Yes, it is. And there's the Princess Bride. Okay, so let's see, 12:30 a.m. Inconceivable.
Inconceivable! You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
Is that right? I said 11. Ah, okay.
3 hours later.
And honestly, I'm kind of glad I made this mistake for this video because of the fact this always happens. I don't care if you're a seasoned veteran or you're new at the thing. This has no errors. It worked, but it didn't work according to plan. Why is that? It's because of the fact that I did pass it what it needed, but it was the wrong information. I did not do it correctly. In this case, I should be doing the hour. This hour is not coming from the calendar. This is actually coming from the drop down hours, like this. And then dot, and then selected text, and then dot value. And there you go. As you can see, this is one of the reasons why I pointed this out. Remember how I said just earlier in this video that sometimes debugging is the way to go? Well, in this case, I should have been paying more attention because this is what I was looking for. My hours, the value is 11 o'clock. This right here, you can see the blue underline, the blue square. This is what I was looking for. This is what I needed. I made a mistake. I was rushing through. Whatever the case may be, like I said, I don't care if you're a seasoned veteran or a brand new user in Power Apps. It's something that is of value to you, and I'm kind of glad that I made this mistake. It was totally on purpose, by the way. So that is definitely going to work, but we got to do it over here as well. So let's do that really quick. So for DPT, for drop down, we're doing hours in this case. And then that's obviously not, see, it's even saying there's an error. It's because I know I'm not done in selected text. Still not done, but it's still an error. Dot value. That is going to assist you and help you understand what you're doing and what needs to happen or transpire. All right, so now we're good. Is the minutes correct? The minutes is the DPD minutes, selected text value, perfect, perfect. This should now work. So let's go with, we can shrink it up. Oh, shrink it up, there we go. And let's go ahead and hit play another time. In this case, we're going to have to go ahead and let's do, oops, I did it again. Let's go ahead and put that on this Friday because I'm already dreaming of Friday. And let's go with the afternoon this time, so let's go with 3 o'clock p.m. All right, so far so good. All right, and then we're going to hit submit. Already done. We'll come here, hit F5 to refresh. Oops, I did it again on this Friday, and it's at 12 o'clock p.m. So yeah, I'm not going to bore you with the menagerie of repeats and repeats and repeats. I'm just going to jump to the arrow 3 issue that was pointing at, yes, it was 3 deep, not 2 deep. So I will jump to the solution and let's kind of keep this moving. And I'm back and I found out what's wrong. I need to learn how to put my parentheses. My parentheses is what broke it. See this parenthesis right here? It's the wrong place. This parenthesis needs to go here. I'm doing the math. All of this is the hour. So we need to actually have it within the parenthesis. I accidentally, and this is one of the reasons why I tell everybody, you could be a genius when it comes to Power Apps, but if you're doing something rapidly, you're going to trip up. And I am the first to admit, when I'm trying to do something fast, especially when I'm doing one of these videos on the fly, a lot of times, even after I practice it several times, I may get ahead of myself, and this is what happens. And so, as you can see, this should now work. So let's go ahead and test it one more time. Let's see here. So we did the time warp. Let's call Hogan's Heroes. I am totally dating myself, I know. So Hogan's Heroes, we're going to go ahead and do the 30th of this month. We're going to keep it 8. You know what? Let's go ahead and go to 6 p.m. this time. Let's go and submit. No, let's go 6:45, just so we know we've made changes. And let's go back over here. We're going to go ahead and hit F5, Hogan's Heroes, and there we go. As you can see, it's exactly what it needs to be. Now, the reason why I thought it was the time zone is because I built another one of these a long time ago, and one of the things that happened was it's changing my time every single time. But the problem is all of these were 12, 12, 12, 12. I'm like, what's going on? And the reason why is what was going on is because I had the, the number 12 plus 12 outside of the parenthesis. It was automatically defaulting to the 12. And that's what was happening. That's why it was breaking. So you can always make changes, but when you're testing, use different values in order to understand what is going on and how you can improve upon it. Hey there, future me. And after some stress testing, there was one more bug that I missed in this video, and that is noon. Yes, high noon, and noon 15, noon 30, anything in the noon range automatically bombed out because of the fact I didn't take into account that 12 o'clock p.m. is actually 12 o'clock p.m. You don't add 12 to it. If you add 12 to it, it becomes midnight and it's the next day, and that doesn't work for me, or for anyone for that matter. Stop adding time to me. Anyways, let's go over it really quick. As you can see here, everything seems to be in order, correct? So with our drop down, we're checking to see if it's PM. If it's PM, we added 12 hours. As I stated before we jumped into this view, that means noon is not accounted for, and so we end up adding 12 to noon, which is unacceptable because then it's 12 a.m. technically. We don't want that. So what we need to do is figure out, well, what do we need to do? And the thing is, we're going to have to check to see if it's noon or not. So what we're going to do is we're going to do this. We're going to go ahead and put a if here, and then we'll do this. And then what we're going to do is we're going to do if the drop down hours dot value. Nope, just kidding. Because we're going to have to force this to be an integer. So int, and then we'll do this, and then we'll do the drop down for hours dot selected text dot value. We're going to close the int, and then we're going to go less than 12, and then what we'll do is we'll do a comma, and then in that case, if that is truly the case, then what we need to do is we're going to go ahead and do the following, and that is what we have here. So this indeed makes it correct. That means it's less than 11. So if it's 1 in the afternoon to 11 in the afternoon, I guess technically the evening, I should say, we're going to actually have to add 12. So if it's like a almost midnight soiree and you want to like have everyone meet 15 minutes before midnight, then what you're going to have to do is at 11 o'clock in military time is 23. So this is correct. However, what we need to do is comma in the case of it being noon, then what we want to do is to drop down hours, and my fingers just decided to slide over a notch, so let's try to drop down hours dot selected text dot value, and there we go. And then we're going to close the first if statement, and then we're going to make sure the second if statement is here. It is. So right now we have 12 p.m. on 3/19/2025. If I do a really quick test, it's indeed 3/19/2025 at 12 p.m. Let's go ahead and test this out. And we're going to do a couple really quick. So the first one, what we'll do, we'll say cake, because I like cake. Actually, I like waffles, so we'll do waffles next. So we'll go on the 22nd because Saturday's fun. We're playing a party. And we'll go ahead and we'll say 12 p.m. No, you know what? We'll say 12:45 just to make sure everything's working. So 12:45 in the afternoon on the 19th of March 2025. I'm going to submit that. And then we're going to do waffles. I like waffles. And then what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and do next week, Wednesday, because why not? And let's do something different. Let's go ahead and later in the afternoon, let's say 5, which should be 17. Let's do 17 even p.m. Submit that one as well. And then the last one, we're going to do cookies. Cookies. And we'll switch up the day again to tomorrow, and then we will go ahead and do 9 o'clock in the a.m. So we have 2 in the p.m., 1 at noon, 45, 1 at 11 p.m., and then we'll do another one at 9 a.m. So submit that. Let's go check to see if the dates are actually correct. So here we are, we're at the dates. We have our cake, we have our waffles, we have our cookies. The date, it is indeed 12:45 p.m. That is noon 45 p.m. That is perfect. We've got that one down. We have the waffles at 5 p.m. That's good. That's correct. So that's the one we wanted. And then we have cookies at 9 a.m. That sounds delicious. Anyways, that being said, we have fixed the last problem. This was a stress test problem that came up. So now we have this fully debugged. In this case, that is one of those things where, I've been doing this for quite some time and I still slipped up. Do not feel bad. You're going to make errors. I guarantee you that. I don't care how good you are, how very meticulous you are. It's going to happen sooner or later. The sooner you understand how to go in, let me go ahead over here, go in and say, all right, what's going on? There are times where I will actually count, okay, here's an opening parenthesis, closing parenthesis. Okay, so this one's good. If I start from here, so I'll go one open, two open, one open, and then one parenthesis open, one curly bracket open. And I will actually do that to ensure. Now, one of the things you can do is if you select on a bracket like I just did, it'll actually show you or highlight the other bracket. The reason why this didn't throw any errors is because I put the plus 12 outside of it, so it literally ignored everything that was in here and actually just put the 12 every single time. And I should have saw that, but like I said, sometimes you look at something for so long you think it's right and it's not. Take a step away. Have somebody look over your shoulder. Do not feel bad. This is something that is not the end of the world. I guarantee you it. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you have any questions, concerns, or comments, leave the comments down below. Let me know how I did, as well as if you want me to do something else around this type of video, let me know. I'm always curious to see what you're trying to do, what you're trying to accomplish. Thanks. I hope you have a great one. Take care now.